Hello you guys, welcome back to the channel. So, I just got done eating lunch at Arby's. I'm gonna go grocery shopping. And I just want to talk to you guys about something that I was thinking about this morning, which is how we obsess over our budgets, which I really am a budget person. I'm becoming more of a budget person. I just wanted to talk mostly about something that I've noticed as far as people being super rigid with their budget. And I think what happens is, you put down your income, all your expenses, what you plan to spend, blah, 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 get it all down to zero, right? We've got it dialed in. And then when something happens that doesn't fit into one of our categories, sometimes we can have a tendency to kind of freak out about it a little bit, or not necessarily panic, but it's bothersome. So my point is we really need to be flexible. And I think the best way to do that is like with a miscellaneous line. And because there's always those things, there's seemingly every month, I don't know why this happens, almost every single month, there's that weird bill where you're like, oh my gosh, I totally forgot about that. Say it's like AAA, you only pay it once a year, or your Costco membership, whatever the case may be. Now, over the course of time, we can set aside money for those things, because we do know they're coming up. We can put them, like in a sinking fund or something to that effect. But at the time, it's like, oh my gosh, that's $120 or $180 this month, whatever the case may be. We have this idea that our budget should be, kind of a set it and forget it kind of a scenario. That is not the case whatsoever. I mean, even if you don't go back into your budget and maybe adjust things every week or, whatever, there's always the occasion where, each month is different. And that's why we make a brand new budget every single month. Like, for example, this upcoming month in May, I'm going to be getting some flowers. We, have some things coming up because we're going to be doing a bathroom reno, all kinds of stuff. But those things weren't, by the way, all of my cans and bottles money, that's what I'm using for my flowers this year, or most of it. And then I'll probably add some money to it out of our budget in May. That's what I was meaning. And then, there's just so many things that we don't think about whenever we're doing our budget. We do our, like I said, we do our income, we do all of our expenses, and then we figure out, if there's any left over, what do we do with it, and that kind of thing. We're not thinking of the incidentals, right? Like the reason I said a miscellaneous category is because it acts as like a petty cash, right? It doesn't fit into any category. And so we need to have that core category to catch things. Like, for example, when is the last time you had to buy stamps? The last time I have bought stamps was probably 3 or 4 years ago. But I'm going to be putting extra on our house payment moving forward. And my mortgage company won't allow me to do that online because there's nowhere to put like the extra principal. You can pay your mortgage online, but there's nowhere to put, say, extra principal or anything like that. So I have to mail it in and fill out the little thing. Well, how often do we buy stamps, right? So that's just one of those things where it wouldn't be in the budget. And so there's a lot of things like that. Like, some crazy weird thing, say you're buying a house or, something like that, and you don't have a printer. So you have to go to, say, Staples or whatever, and for some reason, anyway, I'm getting off track. That happened to me. So I had to go and print a whole bunch of stuff, and I had to pay per sheet, yada, yada. It was just a pain in the butt. But those kinds of things are not in your budget because they're not something that happens all the time. So the miscellaneous envelope for the win, right? Or I say envelope, but I mean, it could just be, you know, a line item in your budget. It's just in your checking account, whatever, maybe your savings account, that kind of thing. Point is being flexible. We get super wrapped up in being rigid. And I think, honestly, that costs us more money in the long run. Because what happens is we don't spend any money for a while, say, because we are sticking to the budget. It is to the letter, you know, that kind of thing. We're paying off debt. We're, you know, nose to the grindstone, which is amazing. The problem is, for me, and I'm sure there's a lot of me's out there. So the problem is we get to where we haven't spent anything for a while. We get fatigued, you know, with the saving money, with the paying off debt and whatever. We have to let off a little bit of steam. I'm not talking about going on a vacation. I'm talking about something like maybe going to dinner, maybe going to, in my case, it would be, say, Home Goods or something like that. And maybe just buying something pretty for the bathroom, or not necessarily pretty, but something I need. Maybe some new towels, you know, something like that. It just gives us that, you know, we're able to enjoy the fruits of our labors because we work our butts off. We should be able to spend some money. And yes, if you're paying off debt and whatever, should you be spending any money? That's up to you, is the thing. So as long as we can keep up with what we're doing, as far as, you know, if we're not spending any money, that's great. But the minute we're feeling like, ooh, look at there. The minute we're feeling like, you know, we want to go binge shopping, that's when it's like we need to readjust. We need to not have it so strapped. We need to allow a little bit of fun money, because otherwise we get fatigued and we want to quit. And we don't want to quit, right? We want to hit our goals. We want to make sure that we can do all the things that we're planning for. So let me know, does that ever happen to you where you get fatigued, you know, with the saving and the investing and the paying off debt and all of that, all those things that we should be doing, right? And we are doing them. Let me know. And what do you do to let off a little bit of steam, say? I would love to know in the comments, and I will talk to you in the next video.